From the very first step on the streets of Paris, no one suspects that right beneath the bustling boulevards and glittering shop windows lies a true ghost city. The catacombs of Paris stretch for hundreds of miles beneath your feet, forming a tangled labyrinth where even an experienced guide can easily get lost. The history of the catacombs began back in the late 18th century when, due to overcrowded cemeteries, the remains of thousands of people started to be moved into the abandoned underground quarries. Now, more than 6 million skeletons rest in the darkness of these corridors. The main official entrance to the catacombs is located on a small side street of Avenue du Cornelon Rue Tanguy. However, the underground tunnels extend far beyond the boundaries of the tourist routes. Secret rooms, inscriptions on the walls, and even homemade sculptures can be found at every turn. At night, urban explorers and so-called cataphiles sneak in here, spending entire nights searching for new chambers and hidden passages. In the mid-20th century, the police discovered a fully equipped cinema with electricity and a bar in the catacombs, which mysteriously disappeared a few weeks later. Mysterious artifacts are periodically found, including medieval coins and strange metal devices. Just imagine, beneath ordinary cafes and residential buildings lie kilometers of empty tunnels, filled with the echo of footsteps, abandoned arches, and mysterious doors leading into the dark unknown. But Paris is not the only place where secrets are hidden beneath the surface. On other continents, there are even more impressive underground structures, designed not only for storage, but also to save entire cities. Huge secret bunkers from the Cold War era. During the Cold War, massive bunkers began to appear underground, right beneath bustling neighborhoods and modest forests all over the world, known only to a select few. Deep in the wilderness of Virginia, just a few miles from the town of White Sulphur Springs, a massive underground facility was hidden, the Greenbrier Complex. Built in the 1950s, it was intended to shelter hundreds of members of Congress and other high-ranking officials in the event of a nuclear attack. Behind concrete walls several feet thick were fully equipped bedrooms, a hospital, a studio, a radio station, and even its own power plant. The doors of the complex weighed several tons and were capable of withstanding a powerful explosion. In London, beneath ordinary neighborhoods lies a secret network of tunnels and bunkers known as the Number Station. It is believed that these underground corridors connected the secret headquarters of British intelligence agencies and could serve as a shelter in the event of a chemical attack. Inside, there were dozens of rooms, supply storage areas, and even offices for secret negotiations. On the territory of the former Soviet Union, beneath Moscow, there is a massive facility with the code name Object 300, a gigantic anti-nuclear bunker built at a depth of almost 200 feet. Legends about it circulated for decades, until in the early 2000s, access to part of the facility was open to researchers. There, Soviet-era soda vending machines, massive diesel generators, and secret maps laid out on the walls have been preserved to this day. Thick metal doors protect against radiation, and the isolated rooms are capable of sustaining hundreds of people in complete isolation. Secret facilities were also built in the Colorado mountains, where beneath Cheyenne Mountain operates a command center capable of withstanding a medium-yield nuclear strike. Its tunnels and halls are hidden deep within the rock, and the staff moved through a complex system of airlocks and sealed corridors. Some of these facilities are still under strict security, while others have become sites of tourist interest. But the scale of these underground cities and the incredible secrecy surrounding them still raise many questions. And yet, truly mystical stories await us on the other side of the world, where real cities have been hidden beneath ordinary residential neighborhoods, descending several hundred feet underground in multiple levels. The secret underground cities of Turkey. Even more incredible secrets are hidden in Turkey, where real underground cities have been discovered beneath the tiny villages of Cappadocia cities that can rival even modern buildings in size. The most famous of these is Derinkuyu, which was accidentally discovered in the mid-1960s by a local resident when he was demolishing a wall in his basement. Behind it was a narrow corridor that led deep underground. Further research revealed that beneath this ground lies an entire multi-level city, stretching to a depth of more than 200 feet. Archaeologists counted more than 18 levels. There were well-designed ventilation shafts, vast halls, grain storage rooms, wineries, water reservoirs, kitchens, and even schools. The structures were connected by intricate corridors and hidden stone doors. Derinkuyu was just one of an entire network of similar cities. 30 miles away was Kaymakli, another underground complex, where labyrinths of rooms and food supplies designed for a long siege were also found. These cities were connected to each other by secret tunnels, some stretching for several miles. Scientists believe that the underground complexes were built gradually, starting as early as the 1st centuries AD, and served as shelters for thousands of people during invasions and wars. Inside they found jars of ancient wine, tools, bone needles, and pottery. Some corridors were so narrow that an adult could only pass through them sideways. Light entered only through ventilation shafts. At depth, there was pitch darkness and coolness, even on the hottest summer day. The upper levels were often used for livestock, while living quarters were located deeper down. Traces of everyday life included polished steps, tables carved out of stone, and remnants of stoves. The discovery of secret traps and snares, which would be triggered by unauthorized entry, added an extra thrill. Despite their millennia-old history, some parts of the underground complexes remain unexplored to this day. Some tunnels are shrouded only in local legend and rumors of hidden treasures or mysterious disappearances. Access to the deepest chambers is still strictly limited even now. The risk of collapse or encounters with unwelcome inhabitants is too great. After descending the steep hewn staircases, you begin to grasp the sheer scale of the hidden world lying beneath what seems like an ordinary surface. But Turkey is not the only place where the search for underground mysteries draws explorers. There are stories where it is not cities, but caves and hidden grottos that become secret vaults for priceless treasures and ancient relics. Caves where treasures and relics are hidden, descending even deeper beneath the surface. It's not just cities that are concealed in the Earth's depths. All around the world there are caves and hidden grottos where countless treasures and forgotten relics have been concealed for centuries. One of the most famous is Lechuguilla Cave in New Mexico, which was first discovered only at the end of the 1980s. Behind its narrow entrance lies a network of passages stretching nearly 140 miles. During scientific expeditions, rare crystals, unusual minerals, and even ancient fossils sealed in the rock over 3.5 million years old were discovered. In the deeper chambers, scientists recorded unique biochemical processes which gave hope for the discovery of new forms of life. In Europe, the Alibaba Cave in the mountains of Albania is considered no less legendary. According to local residents, during World War II, gold coins and family heirlooms were hidden there to keep them from falling into the hands of the occupiers. Over the past decades, treasure hunters have repeatedly tried to find the entrance to the labyrinth, risking being trapped in cave-ins or encountering unexpected traps. Sometimes they manage to find ancient silver bowls, ceramic items, and bronze jewelry sealed inside niches. In the 1980s, a group of speleologists discovered a hidden grotto, inside which lay dozens of ancient coins covered with a layer of green patina. The fate of the Spanish cave Cueva de los Tres Ojos became even more mysterious. In the mid-20th century, a wooden chest filled with artifacts from the era of the conquistadors was discovered inside it. Among the finds were silver crosses, carved icons, and ancient documents. One legend claimed that these treasures belonged to fugitive monks from a monastery that was destroyed by pirates in the 16th century. In Asia, among the jungles of Malaysia, limestone grottos are hidden where, over the centuries, relics were taken to escape from warring invaders. In the 1960s, journalists wrote about a mysterious cave near the city of Ipoh, where a group of local residents discovered carved chests containing golden Buddha statuettes. Later, some of the artifacts were put on display at the Kuala Lumpur Museum. In certain hidden caches, storerooms with coins and ancient weapons are still being found even along the walls and beneath stone slabs. Even in the Rocky Mountains of America, there are stories about missing miners and the secret stashes of Wild West bandits who left bags of gold in hard-to-reach crevices and underground rivers. Very few managed to find such places, since the underground passages could suddenly collapse or become flooded due to rain. Amazingly, among the most unexpected discoveries were even antique musical instruments and items indicating attempts to hide not only gold but also cultural treasures. All these mysterious grottos and labyrinths point to just one thing: there is far more unusual hidden beneath our feet than we can imagine. But the deeper a person ventures into such underground hideouts, the more often they encounter inexplicable phenomena that cannot be explained by science or established legends. Unexplained sounds and phenomena in the depths of the mines. With each new descent into the depths of old mines, researchers are increasingly confronted with phenomena that raise more questions than they provide answers. In the 19th century, at the Bell Mine in Tennessee, workers heard a strange hum coming from the direction of the abandoned workings. The hum grew stronger the deeper they went, accompanied by vibrations that could be felt even through their boots. One day, a group of miners discovered a stone chamber where the air seemed to tremble and the echo of their footsteps bounced off the walls as if someone was walking toward them from the darkness, even though there was no one ahead. In the mid-20th century, at the Kennebeset mine in Utah, engineers recorded mysterious knocking sounds, reminiscent of the distant clanging of a hammer. At first, they were thought to be echoes of machinery operating on the surface, but it was later discovered that during those times, not a single device was running above ground. In the area of the Valle de Gracia mine in Spain, explorers encountered faint voices and the barking of a dog, even though there could not possibly be any animals dozens of feet underground. Recordings made on old tape recorders captured fragments of conversations in different languages, which led to rumors about underground radio interference. In Australia, the Golden Mile mine became famous in the late 1930s for unusual flashes of light on one of its lower levels. Workers claimed that a shimmering head-shaped mist would suddenly appear in the dark tunnel, after which several people would experience dizziness and a tingling sensation in their fingers. Experts explained this as a result of spontaneous gas emissions, but after another occurrence of the flash, the mine had to be temporarily closed. In Russia, at the Kuloy mine where iron ore was extracted, sounds resembling shockwaves were heard more than once, without any apparent cause. According to local miners, sometimes a thick whitish fog would appear in these tunnels, lingering for several minutes before disappearing just as suddenly as it had appeared. Later, geologists recorded a brief change in the magnetic field in the anomaly zone, but were unable to provide a clear explanation. Sometimes mysterious optical illusions are also encountered underground. In northern Wales at the beginning of the 20th century, an entire shift of miners left the mine, claiming they had seen figures in white clothing ahead in the tunnel, which seemed to dissolve into thin air. Later, scientists determined that such a phenomenon occurred as a result of light refracting through tiny droplets of water. However, for the witnesses themselves, this explanation did not sound convincing. In many mines around the world, from the Pechora Basin to the boarded-up workings of California, mysterious hums, rustlings, and even rhythmic knocks continue to be reported, making even the most experienced miners uneasy. Some witnesses managed to record the sound on a voice recorder, but upon further analysis, specialists often found only noise and indistinct mumbling. The strangest thing is that in some places, geologists noted a sharp drop in temperature to nearly 0 degrees, even though the neighboring galleries remained at their usual warmth. In some cases, crystals of unusual shape were found in these cold spots, which were later taken for research. There are no random phenomena underground. There is no wind here, no animals, and none of the usual sources of noise found on the surface. Any unusual sound or glimmer of light immediately raises suspicion. Even more frightening is the prolonged silence, which can suddenly be broken by inexplicable echoes or even quiet footsteps. And while some try to explain this by the properties of the rocks and the peculiarities of acoustics, others insist. In the depths of the mines, things happen for which science still has no answer. But even such anomalies are not the only threat in the underground world. Every new expedition brings fresh mysteries, from disappearing sounds to inexplicable forms of life and mysterious objects raised from the depths. As humanity is only beginning to lift the veil on these underwater rifts, it becomes clear. The most incredible secrets and discoveries still await those who dare to venture deeper than ever before into the dark heart of the planet.